Primetime Sony here, episode 3 of Delphi Bracketology GameDay. From 1952 to 1985, Tony Berto paced the sidelines as the head coach of the Delphi Oracles. Coach Berto's teams compiled 205 victories, 4 Hoosier Conference titles, 3 straight undefeated teams, and Delphi's only sectional championship in 1977. It has been 30 years since Coach Berto walked the sidelines. The field is named after him, and now this rock landmarks his legacy left on Delphi's football program. We are proud to bring you episode 3 of College Game Day from Berto Field. Over to you.
Thanks, Brian. Welcome to Berto Field and Delphi Game Day. I'm your host, Ty Schuler, and I'm joined on the 50-yard line with Daniel Jakes, Marcus Austin, and Mr. Dave Gilbert. We're going to get right into our lightning round this morning. Western Kentucky at Indiana. Western Kentucky's a team that starts off 2-0 behind their quarterback, Brandon Daugherty. And they got some great running backs in Allen and Furby carrying for about 5 yards a carry. But I think their real threat, up-and-coming receiver, Tyler Higbee, with 17.3 yards per average per catch. It's going to be a challenge for the Indiana Hoosiers, who I think their defense is still a little bit iffy. I'm going to go with Western Kentucky winning at Memorial Stadium.
I like Western Kentucky in this one. They have a better offense.
I'm going to go with the Hoosiers.
Western Kentucky's already won at one Power 5 school in Vanderbilt week 1. I'm going with Western Kentucky in a shootout.
Right now we're going to bring in, we have a special celebrity guest with us today, and we're going to bring in the coach of the Delphi Oracles, Coach Josh Strasser.
Welcome, Coach.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Sure.
It's going down for real. It's going down for real.
Coach of the Delphi Oracles, Coach Josh Strasser. Welcome, Coach Strasser.
Hi, guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
Coach.
you. Appreciate you guys having me on board today.
Why don't we just get started? Just tell us a few keys of your program this year, and we'll get right into our picks.
Absolutely. Well, the Oracles are 0-4 right now, but you know our opponents are 14-2, so we're playing some stiff competition. This week we're up at Rensselaer, getting some key injuries back this week, so boys looking forward to a change up at Rensselaer.
Good, thank you. We're going to get right in. Our first matchup is Georgia Tech at Notre Dame. Notre Dame has some key injuries this week. Daniel, why don't you tell us about that game?
Yeah, Notre Dame's starting quarterback, Malik Zaire, is out for the season with a fractured ankle. They're coming off a week where they lost their starting running back as well. I think Justin Thomas leads the Yellow Jackets to a huge win over the Fighting Irish this week.
Well, I'll tell you, Georgia Tech loves to play keep away with the football. If hats off to Coach Kelly if Notre Dame's able to get this win, but I see Georgia Tech all the way.
I'm going to take Georgia Tech in with the victory this week.
Not so fast, my friend. The Irish just seem to find a way to win. They had a miracle win last week in the last seconds. I think the luck of the Irish continues in South Bend.
I think too many injuries for Notre Dame this week. They got a backup quarterback. He's going to make some backup mistakes, and the rambling wreck of Georgia Tech is going to get a win in South Bend. Our next one here is Stanford at USC. Both teams play in a power conference with USC, normally one of the tops in the conference. They're led by Cody Kessler, having an outstanding season at quarterback and a great leader for that team. Stanford brings into the game Kevin Hogan at quarterback, doing an outstanding job for them. Few games of the season. They got a nice receiving core in Love, Rector, and also McAfee does some receiving for them. But in the end, I think with USC playing at home, 100,000 people packed into the Memorial Coliseum, USC is going to get a win over Stanford.
I like USC in this one. Cody Kessler looks to win big against Stanford.
I agree, Daniels. USC's won the last 2 meetings. I see a big route for the Trojan.
I like the Trojans this week.
Stanford has a pretty good defense, but I don't think they have the offense to keep up with the Trojans.
Our last of our 3-set series here is Ole Miss at Alabama. Marcus, what do the Crimson Tide have to look forward to?
It's going to be a very even matchup. Although Ole Miss had back-to-back 70-point victories, I think that quarterback Jake Coker and running back Derrick Henry will really shine through, and Alabama is going to win this one in Tuscaloosa.
I think the Tide have revenge on their mind after losing a tough one in Oxford last year, and I think they will pull out a close one at home.
I've got Old Miss has the best chance at a upset here, but I agree, Alabama all the way.
Derrick Henry, too much for the Rebels. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide rolls. Bama wins in Tuscaloosa this weekend. And our marquee matchup is Virginia Tech at Purdue. Purdue comes off a win last weekend against Indiana State. Mr. Gilbert, can they keep that momentum going, the positives from that game, and carry it into Virginia Tech?
Well, this is probably the biggest game in Darrell Hazel's tenure at Purdue. A win could really rejuvenate the program and a fan base and get more fans in the seats at Ross-Ade. The Boilers have been running the ball well the first two games behind DJ Knox and Markel Jones. And Austin Appleby did have 3 touchdown passes over 50 yards last week. But they're playing a Virginia Tech team that is always known for their defense and strong special teams, and Purdue has struggled with special teams this year. Virginia Tech is on their backup quarterback after losing their starting quarterback in the first week. And Brandon Motley looked a lot better last week against Furman, but this is his first test on the road. How will he react? I'm going to go with the Boilers in an upset at home.
I think Virginia Tech's defense, too much for Purdue's stalled offense.
Well, I'll tell you, Purdue needs a fast start against the Hokies. They want to get anywhere this weekend. Virginia Tech's already traded punches with the national champion Buckeyes, and I have a bad feeling that the Hokies are going to win in Ross-Ade.
I like Virginia Tech this week.
I have to agree with Coach Strasser on this. I think Purdue does need a fast start, but I just don't see him getting it against the Hokie defense. I'm going with Virginia Tech. Our last one here is kind of thrown back to the high school setting. Our other matchup game is Delphi at Rensselaer. Since we have Coach Strasser here, like you said earlier, it's been kind of a rough start, but they got some good weapons on the offensive line for the Oracles with Weston Wendell, quarterback, and Ty Watson, Clay Corbin at receivers, and Clint Root as a running back. This is a nice set for them, and some real good athletes here at these key positions. And do you see them coming together this week, Coach, and getting a victory up at Rensselaer, which is not an easy place to play?
Absolutely. You know, Rensselaer won the 2A state championship last year, lost a lot of key pieces off that championship team, but you know, I see Delphi's offense this week looking to offset Rensselaer's aggressive defense and really take advantage of that and get the win up in Rensselaer.
Very good. I'd like to thank everybody, and especially Coach Strasser, for being here this morning. Thanks to the panel, and we're going to throw it back over to Mr. Tonsoni over at The Rock.
Thanks, Ty. Thanks, panel. This will do it for episode 3 of Delphi Bracketology live from Birdo Field. Remember, send us your game signs, send us your ideas. We look to expand this as the time goes on, but here's a little bit of college football for you. Thanks a lot for watching.